Hi guys, Claudia Boleyn here, and I have woken up this morning to the news that Donald Trump is going to be the next president of the United States. He's going to be the 45th president, and I can't believe it. I stayed up late last night to watch some of the vote count. When I went to bed, it was looking a bit dodgy, but it was thought that Hillary would be able to make up those states, but she didn't. And my mum woke me up this morning before she went to work and said, he's done it, he's about to make a speech. So I came downstairs and I watched him make his victory speech live. I'm actually feeling pretty devastated, and I'm not even from the US, so I can't imagine how it feels for you guys over there. It doesn't feel like it's a normal election where it's policy versus policy. It really does feel like this guy represents so much ugliness and so much hatred, and the fact that people have voted for that uh, over another like genuine candidate with experience is, it's scary. It's a statement almost, isn't it? About what people are willing to tolerate, and how, I guess, for some people it doesn't matter how vile a person is to another group, as long as they're okay, it's fine. I know that I think it's majority white male voters who've voted Trump in, and it's alarming how many of those people are able to overlook his sexism and the homophobia of his campaign. For example, the fact that Mike Pence is his vice president. It bothers me almost more than the fact that we've got Trump as well, that you've got, if you're from the USA, that USA's got Trump as president, that Mike Pence is that one step away, because some of his views on LGBT issues are terrifying and from the dark ages, and he's one step away from the presidency, basically. It's just incredibly depressing. Some people are likening it to the Brexit thing, where we voted in the UK to leave the European Union. I don't think it's the same as that, to be honest. I feel like there were legit reasons for voting to Brexit that aren't all, xenophobic or awful. I agree that a lot of people who voted for it did have nasty reasons for that, but I feel like it's completely different. I feel like Donald Trump truly offers nothing. He doesn't have experience. He's a reality TV star. He has said sexist things on tape. He has said awful things about Mexicans. He the way he's talked to Hillary Clinton, the fact that he threatened to put her in jail. He said that he wouldn't accept the election result if he lost. It's unprecedented, and it shocks me. I feel like this is going to be one of those things that our grandchildren in the future are going to ask us about and say, what was that like? What was it like when Donald Trump was elected president? And I was hoping that I would get asked that by my grandkids about Obama. I was hoping that it would be, where were you when Obama got elected? How amazing was that? The first black president. And instead, we've gone from Obama to Donald Trump. I can't believe that we've gone from Obama to Trump. I really, really can't believe it. I'm just pretty shocked, to be honest, and I feel like a genuine sense of being quite overwhelmed and quite. It's a disappointment, really. It's overwhelming disappointment in people and the way they voted, really. I think this goes beyond Democrat and Republican, to be honest, because you've got plenty of decent Republicans out there who, take issue with the way Donald Trump has spoken about women and minorities. This is beyond that. I feel like people have just voted for hatred. They voted for somebody who is intolerant and somebody who is cruel, and it's absolutely terrible. I mean, you can see I'm not an expert on US politics, but I've been following it in the lead up to this election, and you can see with the amount of Republicans which wouldn't support Trump, you can see how far he is from, this. It's not a political decision. I really don't believe it's a political decision to vote for Trump. I feel like it's just vile and awful. Theresa May has congratulated him today. That's our Prime Minister. So she's congratulated Trump. I can't imagine how that must have felt for her, because in our country, well, in England and in the UK, we can't believe it. And well, you can never tell, can you, how far the sentiment goes, because I feel like a lot of people, it's like with Brexit, which again is very different from the Trump situation, but some people don't want to say what they're voting for, or they don't want to admit that they're part of that opinion. So you don't realise, and it comes as a bit of a shock. So I feel like in the UK, we had that awful feeling, that niggling feeling in our minds when we were watching the results come through in America, thinking, you know, don't think you're safe because of the polls, because, you know, we thought that we were going to remain in the EU because of our polls, but they turned out to be wrong. And yeah, it was like a rerun of that, but a more terrible one, a much more horrible one. I can't imagine what it's like to be in the US right now, to be LGBT or a person of colour or a woman. It's really, really shocking, and that's why I've made this in my my sheep onesie. Just because I wanted to I wanted to keep this for myself, really, just in case my grandkids say, Grandma Claudia, you know, what did you think about it? Well, grandkids, it's terrifying. Genuinely, in my soul, I feel I feel you know, quite upset by it. Anyway, I love you loads. Goodness me, I've got a cold coming. I'll make a proper video on this later, I think, but I might include this, I might not, but yeah. Love you loads, and I'll see you really soon. Bye.